RSV is out there. For those 60 years and older, protect against RSV with Arexvy. Arexvy is a vaccine used to prevent lower respiratory disease from RSV in people 60 years and older. Arexvy does not protect everyone and is not for those with severe allergic reactions to its ingredients. Those with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most common side effects are injection site pain, fatigue, muscle pain, headache, and joint pain.
I chose Arexvy.
RSV? Make it Arexvy.
My son, Wyatt, and I, we're playing the same person.
Tomorrow on ET, only we can take you to the set of Kurt and Wyatt Russell's father-son collab. Plus, join us as we head back to the future. That's all I'm going to say. And don't forget to head to Universal.
Happening now.
We are learning new details about two teens that were rearrested earlier this week, both charged with murder and now certified as adults. We'll have more details coming up.
Our warming trend has officially begun. I'm going to talk about how much warmer it's going to get and when the humidity returns in just a bit.
It started as a pop-up warning on his computer. Now they've lost their life savings.
We couldn't cry. We were just stunned.
Coming up, what you should know about the calculated scam targeting seniors. The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, two teenagers already in trouble with the law picked up again last night. Their murder charges for allegedly shooting a woman last year, now complicated by the measures that they apparently took to get away from officers. Eric Hernandez with the new crime chapter the two teens are being held responsible for and why there may be even more charges to come.
17-year-old Isaac Gonzalez and 15-year-old Renee Gonzalez are both now sitting in the Bexar County Jail after being arrested Tuesday on charges of murder.
At some point after that, they made bond. They were given bonds, and then both of them cut off their ankle monitors. And warrants were put out for their arrest.
Both teens are charged in a drive-by shooting on Bald Mountain Drive in October of last year that killed 25-year-old Novita Brazil. We now know that Renee Gonzalez has been certified as an adult. He was arrested after leading authorities on a chase that ended near Loop 410 and Fredericksburg Road.
This is how much of a joke it is to these guys. During that pursuit, he was actually on Instagram shooting like a live video, knowing full well that he was running from the cops, knowing full well he was going to be arrested at any given time.
Salazar went on to say he was glad both were now in jail and would do everything they can to keep them there. According to online court records, Renee made a $250,000 bond back in May of this year, but was remanded after a bond violation. His bond was then increased to $275,000. He was still able to make bond and was put on a GPS monitor in full house arrest, but he later cut that monitor off. We are now hearing from several sources that while these teens were on the run, they may have committed other major crimes, but no other charges have been filed yet. Now, according to online court records, they will both be in court on January 12th. If they're found guilty on that murder charge, they face up to life in prison. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
An argument is what Bexar County Sheriff's deputies say led to a deadly shooting in Elmendorf this morning. One girl is dead, the other accused of pulling the trigger. It was an early morning fight at around 4:15 in the morning in the 14,200 block of Stretch Road. That's near Old Corpus Christi Road. According to deputies, one of the young women pulled out a gun and ended the argument with a gunshot. The other girl shot in the chest. EMS was unable to save her at the scene. The alleged shooter took off, but was later found and detained. Because they're juveniles, their names and ages have not been released. The search continues at this hour for the driver who hit and killed a man who was riding a bike along 1604, but then kept going. That bicyclist killed last night around 8:45, not too far from Blanco Road, and San Antonio police are saying the driver didn't stop. They will likely face charges. We don't yet know the identity of the man who died. That investigation continues. SAPD also investigating this, a rollover crash where 4 people were ejected from the SUV they were riding in. This crash also happening on Loop 1604, but this one was on the west side near Braun Road after 12:30 this morning. Police at the scene say that for some reason, the driver of the SUV lost control and drove off the road. The vehicle rolled over multiple times, hitting the utility pole in the center median. The driver and the 3 passengers thrown from this vehicle, all 4 transported in critical condition. Police are still looking into cause of this crash. Wiped out of their life savings, a San Antonio couple just fell for a cold and calculated scam. The FBI warning that this is a new twist on an old fraud, and it's now circulating. It's targeting seniors and their savings, retirement, and investment accounts. 12 on your side's Marilyn Morris with why the couple says the criminals were so slick and so convincing.
I went in after breakfast to the computer like I always did.
But Dennis Shockey was about to be sucked into a month-long swindle.
Well, we lost total $170,550.
A lifetime of savings for 80-year-old Dennis and his wife, Joy.
It seems like they take advantage of elderly people that, have worked all their lives to have some money to fall back on, and they're evil.
It started when Dennis's computer froze and a warning popped up with a phone number he thought was Microsoft.
That's strange. I'd never seen this, so I called the number.
And you thought you were speaking to Microsoft?
Absolutely.
That began a calculated scam the FBI calls the Phantom Hacker.
Over the next 30 days, Dennis spoke to not one, but 2 imposters. First, the Microsoft fake, who convinced him that hackers were at work and he should give her control of his computer.
All this time, our computer has all these numbers rotating on the television.
Enter imposter number 2, a man Dennis thought was his bank's fraud officer.
So he said, yes, it appears that in the wee hours of the morning, there was 3 attempts to take money from your account.
Fear is the number one tool that criminals will use. They get you quickly thinking fight or flight. I have to solve this problem today. And let's be honest, they're good at what they do.
The imposters instructed Dennis to move his savings to a secure crypto account for safekeeping, and what to say if the tellers asked questions. On the day their $170,000 was to be returned, the realization.
By late morning, I told Joy we've been had. We've been scammed.
We couldn't cry. We were just stunned. We just couldn't believe what had happened.
It's like getting kicked in the stomach.
The Shockeys have sold their cars to pay their bills. They've lost their nest egg, but still have faith.
What do you do now?
Well, Jesus is our Lord and Savior, so he is our protector.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Such a sad lesson to learn. Well, here's some things that you should know. Microsoft says warning messages never include a phone number. Also, fraud experts say never give a stranger remote access to your computer. Never wire money to people you don't know. And if something feels a bit off, it's time to stop, pause, and talk to someone you trust. New at 5, less than 2 years after the last CPS energy rate hike request, the utility company is getting poised to ask for another. CPS working on the presentations it will make next week to the CPS Board of Trustees, as well as the San Antonio City Council. Garrett Berger says while it's been expected, this very high rate hike could be harder to sell this time around.
$4.45. That's how much CPS Energy says monthly residential bills would go up under its new rate proposal, which it will formally present next Wednesday, November 8th. A spokeswoman says CPS hopes to get it approved by the end of the year and put into effect by February, less than 2 years after the last increase took effect in March 2022. Before then, there hadn't been a rate increase in nearly 8.5 years. Now, the utility's looking at more regular increases.
I can tell you we'll need to come in 2 years from now and have a conversation, and then likely this 2 years from then, we'll at least need to put a placeholder in case there's still some work to do.
The 4.25% is enough to bring in $85 million a year to CPS. The utility saying it plans to take incremental bites at the apple as it tackles improvements and growth.
We got, 2/3 of our generation that's going to come offline that we've got to replace and then some. We've got our aging technology infrastructure immediately that has to be replaced.
The March 2022 increase included a 3.85% bump to the base rates and a higher fuel adjustment charge. Combined, the utility said at the time it would have a $5.10 impact on the average residential bill. Of the council members still on council, only Jalen McKee Rodriguez and Terry Castillo voted against the last increase. Manny Pelaez, who voted for it, warned his vote is not guaranteed this time.
But the reality is that never before have I been put in a position where my constituents have been put under this much pressure. And there comes a point, right, where I think it's fair for council to say no.
We have a link to a CPS website on the rate request and information on how to sign up to speak at next week's CPS board meeting on our website. Just find this story at KSAT.com. I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
And a quick clarification, it's not a high rate hike, it's just a rate hike, pretty much in line with the one that was passed 2 years ago. Adam?
And we felt a chill this morning, and temperatures mid to upper 30s in outlying areas, especially in the hill country. 42 officially at the airport in San Antonio, but 38 New Braunfels, 36 for the low in Seguin. So we felt the chill, still jacket weather, but temperatures are warming up. Tomorrow morning we start the day at 50, and then by this weekend on Sunday, our morning temperatures back up to 60, then well into the 60s for next week. So the warming trend has begun. 65 in Floresville right now. Del Rio 73, 66 in Schertz, and around Lavernia we're at 69 degrees. So temperatures even this afternoon are a little bit warmer than yesterday at this time. You see the trend incrementally increasing. Partly cloudy, not as chilly this evening, 10 o'clock 56. Yeah, long sleeves, maybe a light sweatshirt, but not as cool as previous nights. We'll talk more about the warming trend and when the humidity returns, along with good news for the drought monitor, an improvement to talk about in a few minutes.
Thank you, Adam. U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville's military promotions roadblock getting a strong pushback by his own Republican colleagues. Tuberville has been digging in his heels, holding up more than 370 military promotions and nominations for more than half of the year. He's doing it to protest the Pentagon's policy to cover the travel costs of troops who must cross state lines to get an abortion. Other GOP senators, though, are arguing that Tuberville's promotions blockade is harming the military's readiness, and it punishes officers whose promotions have already been approved and have no role in the Pentagon's policy. The Senate Majority Leader says he may now combat the blockade by putting all the waiting promotions into one vote instead of 370 or so.
I cannot simply sit idly by while the Biden administration injects politics in our military, again, injects politics in our military from the White House.
Xi Jinping is watching this right now. He's loving this. So is Putin.
No matter where you believe it or not, Senator Tuberville, this is doing great damage to our military.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has not said when he might bring up a new resolution that would end the stalemate. Let's take a look outside with your traffic authority cameras. This is I-35 at Space Center. It's usually got a little bit of a bottleneck here as the traffic begins to merge, and it is doing so again today. But look at those skies. Really nice day out there. Straight ahead, Ford issuing a recall for its Mustangs. It's due to a problem involving the car's braking system. What the issue is and what owners need to know to get it repaired coming up. And Thanksgiving a few weeks away, what some big retail stores are offering that could save you time in the kitchen and put some money in your pocket.
I'm Myra Arthur, and here's a look at what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. Major change-ups happening inside Texas prisons to put a stop to the flow of contraband and drugs they're finding inside. Coming up at 6, KSAT Investigates gets an inside look at the new protocols being put into place. It is the latest part in our series, the Texas prison lockdown. Plus, San Antonio is now home to a World Series champion. MacArthur High School alum Josh Young bringing the title back to the Alamo City. Hear from his former coach about what it's like to see Josh on the national stage and watch him win that title. All that and more coming your way today on the News at 6.
Thank you, Myra. Ford Mustang owners, it's time to hit the brakes and check out the company's latest recall. Ford recalling close to 200,000 Mustangs. The company says a brake fluid level sensor could fail to activate the visual warning indicator when your brake fluid is low. The issue impacts 2020 through 2023 models. Ford says the problem can be fixed with a software update that can be at dealerships for free. The company plans to start sending letters to affected owners on December 4th. In business news, Six Flags announcing today that it will be merging with another theme park company, an $8 billion deal. That's billion with a B. The idea is to join Cedar Fair, creating a theme park powerhouse. Cedar Fair's flagship park is in Ohio, but it also owns Knott's Berry Farm in California, Schlitterbahn Water Park here in Texas, and Canada's Wonderland in Ontario. Six Flags has about 20 parks in the U.S., 2 in Mexico and 1 in Canada. The new company will keep the Six Flags name. The Powerhouse Theme Park Company will eventually operate a total of 27 amusement parks and 15 water parks all across the U.S., Canada, and in Mexico. If you're looking to avoid cooking up Thanksgiving dinner by yourself and not really looking forward to spending a lot of money on it, there are some big retail stores that could do the cooking for you. They're offering cheaper holiday meals. One includes a 10-pound turkey with all the trimmings. Customers can find that deal on Target's website. Walmart also offering 2 different versions of a Thanksgiving meal. One you cook from scratch, the other is a ready-to-bake option. Both are cheaper than last year. In addition, Walmart says it's going to have lower prices on your holiday staples. Looking outside with live cam, can't complain, can't find a cloud. It's just lovely.
Yeah, and temperatures are on the upswing. It feels pretty good this afternoon, and it's only going to get warmer in the days ahead. So if you really liked that chilly weather where it's down in the 30s to near 40 in the morning, I hope you embraced it because we're going to see a little bit of a flip coming. But I want to start with some good news. Take a look at the drought monitor last week. Okay, this is updated every Thursday, so we just got the newest update today. We're starting with last week's. Now we're going to fade into the new one, and you'll see the changes. Look at that, a whole category of drought basically erased. So here we go one more time. This is last week, and now we go into today, especially around Bexar County and surrounding areas. The exceptional drought, the worst category, has shrunk in size. Of course, we still have some work to do. We still need more rain, but it's good to see at least categorically we've had some improvement, and we're chipping away at it. The recent rainfall helped out. Is it enough to wipe away the drought? No, but at least it helps the situation. Across the state, 65% of Texas is in drought, and that's actually a 10% improvement compared to what we had last week. Let's look at the big picture, though. Satellite and radar has all the action in the Pacific Northwest, moving into the Rocky Mountains, and that's really where the precipitation is going to be across the northern tier of the U.S. and especially Pacific Northwest over the next 7 days. Around here, we're not anticipating much. I mean, maybe a stray shower at some point late next week, but right now we're looking fairly dry and uneventful when it comes to rain. A few ornamental clouds out there today. Let's talk temperature. 67 right now with a dew point of 42. Still have that nice crisp dry air with the dew point of 42. That changes on Sunday. Temperatures, 60s, 69 Stinson, Bernie 63, Canyon Lake 65, and Hondo right now at 68. Lower 70s as you get along the Rio Grande. But let's talk about tomorrow morning. Right near 50, actually 50 in San Antonio, some mid to upper 40s as you get up into the hill country. Lackland 50, New Braunfels 48, 46 in Lake Hills, Von Army at 50 degrees. So not as cool tomorrow morning as what we've had recently. Still below average for this time of year, but not quite as chilly. By 10 a.m., we're already at 60 degrees. Noon, we're up to 68. and then a high temperature tomorrow of 74 degrees. So back near average for this time of year. Average highs in the mid 70s. Helotes tomorrow 72, 76 New Braunfels, Devine 76, and Sabinal at 74. Notice we're back into the 80s by Sunday, 81 degrees, humidity returns, and that means warmer mornings back in the 60s next week with highs in the 80s. And right now we're tracking a potential cold front at some point next Thursday or Friday. We'll have to keep you updated on that.
All right. Thank you, Adam. Great night tonight. Great night last night if you're a Rangers fan.
Big time. Special. I mean, some of the suburbs of Dallas-Fort Worth even closed schools today. What a great day to celebrate. And it was history all last night. The Rangers cap off the 2023 season with the franchise's first ever World Series title. Plus, the Spurs and Suns will rematch tonight. San Antonio chasing yet another improbable win in Phoenix.
In their 63rd season. It's happened! The Texas Rangers win the World Series!
The sweet sounds of the Texas Rangers finally winning the franchise's first World Series championship. The triumphant win in big board sports. Well, the Diamondbacks couldn't have asked for better pitching in a must-win Game 5 of the World Series. It wasn't until the 7th inning, Rangers shortstop Corey Seager connected on a pitch, sending a dribbler to left field for the team's first hit up to that point. That would set off a chain reaction, and Texas then shut out Arizona 5-0, solidifying Texas as the best team in baseball.
What this team did and how we competed and all the guys in there rallying, you know, we don't really have one leader. You know, that whole clubhouse is a leadership. They're all professionals in there, and we all knew we had a job and a task at hand, and we competed and we did it. You know, it's pretty cool.
Seager joins an elite group, Sandy Koufax, Bob Gibson, and Reggie Jackson, with 2 World Series MVPs. The rematch of the Spurs and Suns is tonight, following, of course, San Antonio's stunning come-from-behind win Tuesday night. This time, Phoenix could see the return of one of its best players, Devin Booker, who will be a game-time decision. Bradley Beal remains out. Now, in the aftermath of the Spurs' one-point win, rookie Victor Wembanyama learned a lot going up against his favorite NBA player and one of the greatest to ever hoop, Kevin Durant.
I'm far from mastering the game as much as him, I know, because I try to do some stuff like him, but I think I'm maybe not patient enough yet. I think I want to go too fast, but he goes to his own pace and goes to his spots, you know. I think I got to not copy that, but get inspired by that.
Can the Spurs open November with back-to-back wins? We'll find out tonight. Tip-off is at 9 p.m. We'll be right back.
Here's another trend to talk about. Dew points will be on the rise. By Sunday, back into the 60s, so feeling sticky and muggy Sunday, then through pretty much all of next week. And that's when temperatures rise as well into the 80s, so back above average before we know it. Reminder to fall back 1 hour Saturday night before bed.
Thank you, Adam, and thank you for watching the News at 5 with us. World News is next.